What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Survivor 48 after show on Survivor Now. Yeah, it's been too long. I've been away too long and totally forgot how to do the intro for the after show because this is historic. There's not been one episode this season that has had this wonderful panel all together. So I am back. My name is Randy, and then the lovely panel that I have with me tonight from Survivor 41. I have Eric Abraham looking off in the distance, Tic Tac shirt and all. Look at you.
I'm looking to the left because I'm had to do something right quick. My screen is on the right side, but I'm here.
You said I'm here and then pointed off to the right side.
I don't know. It's got to be moved. I'm gonna do it in just a second here. I just gotta.
I don't know where that man is ever at. Also joining us, Josh is back. Well, not back. I mean, you weren't joining me on the premiere episode. You missed out on that one.
Yes.
But we haven't done a podcast yet this year.
Yes, we have not.
Really?
Yeah, no, I've only been on one so far this season, but no, I'm good. Happy to be back. Yeah, really good to be here. Great episode to talk about, and I'm really excited to get into it.
And finally, from season 44. Season 45, you heard it in the intro. Bruce Peralt. Bruce, how are we doing this evening, sir?
I am doing good, but I'm really in the spot right now. I'm holding my tongue real bad about these. For the first time this season, I went on Twitter for some strange reason, and there's people that were on there talking some junk. I'm telling you, it's taking all of my adult training to just not pop off. It's just. People are trolls, man. Trolls. Twitter, what I call them, the thumb heroes or some stupid stuff like that.
Not the thumb heroes.
Keyboard warriors.
Bruce, we can put them hands on them. We about them hands.
I mean, I'm on X, Twitter, whatever. I'm on it right now, but I'm just sharing that we're live right now. So see, that's okay. That's the good stuff. Yeah. Yes, if you guys are watching on SurvivorNowPodcast.com, X, YouTube, wherever you're watching at, Abraham, you got to change that. I've been here less than 5 minutes. I see 2 minutes and 50 seconds, and I've had to get on you twice, sir.
That's because I sat in for you and messed up my own stuff.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Check us out on social media at Survivor Now Pod. You guys can also join in our live chat. I like to call it Ancient Voices. We have the chat popping off already. So Brian is here. So Bianca did the exact opposite of Justin and Thomas. She told too much of the truth and lost for it. Yes, we're going to talk all about Bianca. Roy adds in, Say was cooked until Bianca jumped into the pot. Let's see. I don't want to talk about this. Brian says, I also feel bad for Kara. All three of her draft picks are gone. One after another.
Sorry, I'm very competitive, and I laughed out loud, and I'll keep on laughing.
Josh, you had a rough
as the one who came in last place last season, and I feel for her, but at the same time, I'm really happy it's not me. So mixed emotions. I'm glad. I mean, unless it's a catastrophic. Next week for Mitch and Kyle, I feel pretty confident I'll get at least 5th place.
I'm feeling pretty good.
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I think Kara just locked up. I'm so sorry, Kara. We all love you. I think Kara just locked up last place in fantasy.
Sorry, Kara.
And it might be one of the worst. It's still not one of the worst performances ever. I remember Will for season 45 had like a total of 64 points by the time all three of his people got out. He had Sean. He had Hannah. He had Hannah Rose. Sean.
Oh, that's rough.
And someone else who went out pre-merge. I don't remember.
By Brandon. Yeah.
It might have been Brandon, actually. No, I can't remember.
Rough.
My brother adds in. I'll own up. He's my brother. Why is Say still in the game?
Is that a rhetorical question, or is that a question that can be answered?
I mean, that's a question that can be answered. Gentlemen, we're going to get to the emotional point a little bit later on, because I know that's what everyone wants to hear us talk about. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with that. My brother was texting me, not a Say fan. Ryan, I have to say, she's a fan of the podcast, so I'm always going to have to be a fan of Say. But these three gentlemen don't have to be. Say has been, I don't know, in some tough positions, and then she's been putting herself in some tough positions. When this is on me, gentlemen, because I was watching Tribal Council. Sometimes I tune out on Tribal Council because I've been very vocal in saying I don't really care what they have to say. I just want to see where the vote goes. And when the vote went towards Bianca, I kind of had this moment of, excuse me, what just happened? How did the vote get on Bianca? And I thought for a split second it was Mitch. Oh, Mitch and Cedric are close. This makes sense. Cedric told Mitch that she didn't have a vote. But then I remember it showed Mitch voted say. So I was very confused how this happened. And then it was afterwards when I saw Chrissy voted. Did I miss something? Did they ever talk? Did they show them talking?
They didn't show them talking because
didn't.
Cedric turned around and ran. Wait, you don't want me to talk to say? Okay, I want to talk to say. Who else wants to listen? Anybody?
I think they definitely have some explaining to do next week. I think that's clear.
Yeah, because like if it's not going to be Mitch and Cedric, you think maybe it was Cedric and Say, but no, Say voted Chrissy. It seemed like Chrissy and Cedric got together. It almost seems like, if I was a betting man, Cedric went up to Chrissy and said, hey, Bianca doesn't have a vote. We should just make a move against Bianca. Josh, you have something to add here?
No, I mean, that's probably what happened. I know he said that he was only told like a couple minutes before tribal council. So I wonder if like Chrissy was the only person he could tell. But what remains unclear is like Mitch voted for Say, and maybe that was like an insurance policy, but maybe he didn't know because Say definitely did not know what was happening. She didn't know that Bianca was going, didn't know that she didn't have a vote. Mitch was immediately like comforting Bianca and didn't seem as surprised, but again, we don't know. Like that could have been editing, could have been something else. Maybe he just played it more cool. So yeah, it could be either thing. Like maybe Mitch knew, maybe he didn't. But yeah, I wonder. Like a hypothesis I have, I guess, is that Cedric was like, I only have a couple minutes. Who can I tell? How can I flip this over? And he didn't get a chance to talk to Say, but he did get a chance to talk to Chrissy, and they did it. But yeah, I mean, I was shocked to see it be 2-1-1. I thought it was going to be like all on Bianca or not.
I mean, we talked about this on the pre-show. I was ready for it to be a rock draw. I'm like, holy crap. Like, I don't think it would have got to that point. I think Cedric at that point would have been like, okay, I'll cut Say here. I'm not going to rocks for saying this.
I don't see Mitch going to rocks for Chrissy either.
No, I don't. But I thought it was going to be a 2-2 draw. I thought that's what we were getting ready for. I guess the question is, there's a lot of questions about how this tribal council ended up playing out. But Abraham, I go to you about this. Was it the right move to even make a move against Bianca? Like, obviously, you could look at it. She shot herself in the foot potentially when she went up to Cedric and said, hey, I don't have a vote. We talked about it earlier on the pre-show. Maybe that's something you just keep to yourself. She was playing it so well. Paranoia can get the best of you. You and Bruce would know, being out on the island, that is something you have to battle with, is paranoia. It got the best of Bianca tonight. But at the end of the day, was this still the right move to get rid of Bianca? Someone who she just lost her number one ally. She doesn't really have a home. You could have brought that number in to help you moving forward.
I mean, but you're still playing the game of Survivor, and we don't know, because of the world of editing, how much time was between when she told Cedric I didn't have a vote, and we know that somebody's off doing something at that time as well, that Chrissy ends up being the person you go to. Because I had to wait. I said, I need to see who voted for her, because I was like, okay, well, we accounted for everybody else. So Chrissy to me is the one that you need to look out for, because why did she vote for Bianca? Because at the end of the day, she could have voted for Say. Now, but here's the crazy part about the whole thing. Bianca could have just said, you know what, I'm not going to say anything. But we see how that worked out. Go back to the previous tribal council where you find out at tribal council that you don't have a vote. Now you're stuck. And then who's the easiest vote? Well, if you ain't got a vote, we didn't find out until tribal council when we started voting. Now you got everybody on their sides. You was like, okay, well, you know what? Let's just vote her out anyway. I think that she was doomed no matter which way it went. So don't get caught up in the tears, because everybody gonna cry until you get to number one. So,
Bruce, do you agree? I mean, was Bianca either way probably going to be the number one target tonight? Because I definitely thought, obviously we're just watching from the edit, but I thought watching the edit that the plan was actually going to work. I had a feeling that Bianca had this laid out to where she thought it was going to be a 2-2 draw, and then Cedric would have flipped on Say. That's how I felt it was going. And then the moment she did go to Cedric, which looked like it was very, very close to when they were about to leave, it was kind of like a last-minute effort to be like, hey, you trust me, right? I'm going to tell you this. As soon as she did that, I said, girl, I think you just killed your game. I think you just killed it.
You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. That's to piggyback off of Abraham. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So that's that. Because we obviously saw that if you go to you go to Cedric with any information, it's gonna get back to you, and it's gonna affect you. Nobody knows that. Obviously, this is an edited game. When she went and figured out the timeline, when she went and talked to Cedric, I think that there was more time than what it seemed. Because I tend to look around and see, like,
where was the sun at?
Where's the sun? Yes, the shadows, things like that. Like the conversation that Chrissy had with Bianca, that looked like it was like morning. Because if I understand it correctly, Chrissy was all about getting Cedric out. Gotta go. Like I'm all on that. And then Bianca said, they had the conversation, and then she wants to go to Cedric and talk to Cedric. Well, Cedric then turned around and flipped the script on everything, because it should have been, she shouldn't have sent it to him, Bianca, that is, because she asked him a question, and he said that getting rid of Say is not what is needed right now, along the lines of that. I'm paraphrasing, but that right there is a red flag. Like, whoa, all right, cool. You don't want to get rid of her? Fine. What's your thought then? Where do you want to go? Oh, we're gonna go on Chrissy. Okay, that's what you want to do. We'll vote Chrissy, and that's it. Like, now I'm not telling him anything, because I know that his head is not going where I want it to be able to go, and vote Say out. So now it's again, it's an edited show. This is nothing personally against anybody that's there, but Cedric in this game seems like he's so reliant on telling people information. Like, he's so reliant on it. It doesn't, from the editing aspect of it, I don't see him having an alliance with Chrissy.
That's good editing right there.
No, I'll just say this. This is what I texted my brother. And Cedric, if you're watching, I mean this in the most respectful way. I said, Cedric he's a surgeon, correct? If I remember correctly. Very smart, intelligent man. Very smart. I don't know if he's smart when it comes to Survivor. Some of these moves that he's making has me questioning, is he thinking long term? Like, obviously, when he's like, I know Say's going to become a liability at the end of the day. Great. I'm still struggling with the fact of, did he make the right choice in the short term tribal council that would even give him the chance later on to turn against Say, if that makes sense? Bruce, you brought up the fact about, at some point, it sounded like Chrissy wanted to target Cedric. I thought the opposite. I thought it was very obvious from early on in the episode that Say was the main target. Mitch had to step away and say, ooh, I was about to pop off on Say. And Chrissy was like, yeah, she's starting to annoy me. And this is, the question comes up, do you make a move that is better strategically, or do you make a move that will bring you peace of mind at the end of the day? And it's very obvious that Say is rubbing people the wrong way. I mean, we saw it in the reward challenge when she got onto them about celebrating. I thought, wait a minute. The last immunity challenge, which was the first immunity challenge she won, if I remember correctly, Say was like jumping around, running all over the place, screaming, and like looking at other tribes. I'm like, this goes both ways. So I can definitely see why Say is getting on people's nerves. That's what baffles me. It's all the ins and outs.
Hold up, Randy. Let's look at it from strategy. It's only 2-2. So if you vote somebody else out, Cedric's now, he's alone. You already have somebody in the crosshairs of everybody else. She's digging a hole that's so perfect. You only got to do is stand behind her and give her a little nudge. You go to merge. Who do you take to merge? Bianca, who somebody from another tribe could bring back in as a number, or you bring somebody in that everybody's feeling some kind of way about. The editing is painting the picture like she's annoying and she's not getting along. But if you look at that vote, Teresa thought something different, because she said she was annoyed with her with Mitch. The only body wrote their name down was Mitch. So at the end of the game, you play pre-merge and you play merge. To me, this wasn't time for her to get, because I mean, at least Cedric by itself. So if they don't merge and they do lose another thing and they got to vote, you think Bianca's going to look out for Cedric, or it's a decision you got to make when you go in the Game of Survivor. But I would take Say to the merge, because I know that there's more people on the other side willing to vote her out before they vote me out.
Well said. I mean,
Yep.
So we've heard Abraham and Bruce on like tonight's vote and whether it was the right decision or not. Josh, I got to bring you into this. Are you agreeing with the two gentlemen here about like this was the right move at the end of the day? Where are you at in this?
I think ideally for Cedric, like it would have been a way to take out Chrissy or Mitch, someone who's maybe more connected on Orange, which we don't know as much about. But between Bianca and Say, I think you definitely want to take Say in, because Say is someone who you have history with, you can work with, but also like a lot of these people, they just watched 44, 45, 46. So like these like small tribes that have been through a lot. We saw them go all the way to the end in 44 and do, Kenzie won 46 and, Q and Tiffany did pretty well too. So like, it makes sense, though. That's all pretty fresh in people's minds, so that people might have their eyes on Mary, Say, and Cedric more than they did like a year or two ago. And so, if there's someone who is gonna attract way more heat at the very beginning, it's gonna be Say. So I think that is someone you want to keep around, especially when, now it's the option of like, okay, at first it's like, okay. I'll vote Chrissy. Say and I are going to vote Chrissy. Hope that Bianca votes with us. But now it's like, oh man, a tie again. So I'm going to have to go to like a 2-2 tie.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Like I don't know if I'm Cedric, I don't want to do that. And another thing about Cedric too that I want to mention that we haven't pointed out as much is that he somehow, maybe you can debate all you want about what the decisions that he's made and whether they've been good, but he has been in the best position out of anybody this whole time. He has not gotten a single vote cast against him. He has he's been good with everybody. He everyone trusts him. A lot of people have seen him like as their number one or something. Like Bianca didn't confide the no vote in anybody else. She confided in Cedric. Like Mitch is bonded with Cedric. Chrissy clearly was the only one who voted with him. Say is closer with him than she is with anyone else. So he's in this position on both tribes where he's in good with everybody. And he was, maybe in a little bit of hot water on the old Green tribe before they swapped. But he's once again found himself in really ingratiated socially, really well on this new tribe. So he's doing something right. Again, you can debate his decisions all you want, but he's doing something right.
Look, I say I'm going to toast him every time we get on it now. He ain't doing nothing physical. Said be out there. Hey, Star, I talked to her later. Hey, she stayed out there water too in the challenges. I talked to Cedric and he was like, physicality wasn't his game. He knew he wasn't going to be out there and be super physical. I think he's playing the game that gets him through each phase of Survivor. I've always said it. You got to have a pre-merge, you got to have a merge game. And I just think he's on the right side of it.
Hey, perfect game still intact. Hasn't had a vote against him. We obviously see emerges happening next week. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show, kind of as we wind down here. We'll take a look at everyone's game and who we like moving forward as we prepare for the merge or mergatory next week. Let's see some of these comments that we have in the chat right now. Adrienne says, Say has 9 lives for real. I mean, is there a cat in here? Let's see. Roy says Cedric blindsided Say and Mitch as well as Bianca. Is that recklessness? Did I say that right? Yeah. Anybody? Do we think this is gonna fire back on Cedric or no? Not really.
Well, Say wants some loyalty anyway. So, and again, you don't know the timeline which he found out that she didn't have a vote. To me, the X factor is Teresa. It don't make no difference.
Okay, we got to talk about. Yeah. Anthony said in the chat, who is Teresa?
I mean, who we got?
Chrissy.
Who knows, man? Teresa. Time. Don't know what. Hey, stop drinking, Bruce. Teresa. Teresa's the X factor. Teresa's the one you got to go to.
You're still saying Teresa? Are we just running with
Chrissy? We're playing, man. Josh.
Hey, Josh. Shut him down. Give him mute.
Josh. I expect better out of you. The rest of them, I don't care, but I expect better out of you.
We're trying to charm Abraham.
Here's the thing. Chrissy changed on Mitch. So the beef gonna have to be with Mitch. Mitch gonna be like, hey, what'd you do? You didn't even tell me. I thought we was on the same page. Which Mitch and Chris ain't on the same page anyway. So you just trying to make it to the merge. I don't see who Josh voted
Abraham, I love you so much, man. Hey, moving forward in the season, every time Abraham says Teresa, take a shot.
I got some good stuff in the house.
That stuff sticks sometimes, you know. Like now it's gonna be the whole joke. But
gonna be laying down.
Teresa.
I'm gonna try to convince Chrissy to change her Instagram to Teresa. I'm gonna send her that clip.
No, that's a whole name change.
Abraham, love you, man. All right, so moving on. We're gonna get to more tribe dynamics, but we got to get to this touching moment on the show as well. There's two big moments that happened this episode and some little smaller moments throughout. Obviously, you have the vote out that we're going to talk about, and sad to see Bianca go. I actually wish we saw a little bit more of Bianca this season as well. I think she's a player that we didn't get her true potential, and we could spend hours talking about how it sucks that we take away players' votes. We've done it before, but instead, I'd rather talk about something that's super sweet. And let me just start off by saying, I tweeted something out on our X account. And what I tweeted out after this moment between Eva and Joe, I said, there's going to be haters. And if there's haters, kindly unfollow. Because I am usually an emotional hater. And what I mean by that is I am one of those people that in some of these sappy emotional moments, I go, can we just play the game? I'll own up to it. That's me. Everyone knows that I'm more of a GameBot fan who just wants to see the game played out and not as much emotion. This one was different for me. This was actually, sometimes I feel like some other emotional moments can feel a little forced, like production trying to get something. This felt as natural as I've ever seen on Survivor. From the way Joe was looking at Eva the entire time, from the frustration that Eva was having, just trying to do her best and really struggling to get through this challenge. There was, to Jeff's tears about being a father, when they got talking about that, this all felt real. And I know, Bruce, I saved this comment for you from earlier when you were talking about trolls online. Don't hold your tongue, Uncle Bruce. Don't hold your tongue. I agree. And that's why I sent that message out and said there's going to be haters who are like, dude, this is sappy again. If you're hating on this, you need to check yourself, because this is something that I don't deal with. In the pre-show, we were making predictions about what could be making Jeff cry. And a lot of us said it might have something to do with Eva. And I was struggling talking about it because this is something that I don't experience. I have my best friend, Christian. He's got a cousin who's on the spectrum. Other than that, I don't have any connection to it. So when I was making my prediction earlier, I didn't know the right terminology to use. And I wanted to make sure I was respectful. I didn't know whether to say, maybe Eva has a moment on this episode, or maybe I avoided the word episode because I didn't know if that was something that would have came across rude or, insensitive. That's the episode. That's the word she used on the episode tonight, was she has these episodes. So yeah. I'll reiterate and say, while we talk about this moment, I don't know the connection that Abraham, Josh, Bruce could have to maybe someone on the spectrum or, someone who's autistic. I don't have that connection. So as I speak on it, just keep that in the back. But this situation was very touching. Bruce, I'll go to you. I know you had something you wanted to say.
All right, so people, take a look. See, that's my Twitter handle right there. Okay? If you want, come at me right now. I don't really give a damn. My brother has autism. Okay? My nephew has autism. And they're both on the spectrum. For people to sit out there and say, and they know, if you're watching the show, you know that she has autism. And Randy, if you have a beep button, get ready to, beep out what I'm about to say.
Beep that shit out. Go ahead.
You're a piece of shit. You truly are. And this is my raw emotion. Like there's nothing worse than a human being is going to sit out there and say that this person is, I'm so sick of seeing this. The Survivor's going downhill. This, that, and the other. You know what? Kick rocks. The simple fact of the matter is that there are people that are out there that are going through struggles, and this young lady is putting herself out there, playing the game that she loves, because that's what it is. It's a game. It's not real life. Mm-hmm. So let's break it down for these morons that are out there saying this stuff. You're at work. You now get called out. You get fired. You start crying. Someone looks you dead in your face and says, "Oh, what are you crying for? You got fired." That's not even close. That's not even close to an emotional reaction, because you're an idiot and you're the reason why you got fired. being able to sit here and have these big Twitter balls and talk about, or X balls, whatever you want to call them, and, oh, I'm so sick of seeing this stuff. This person's stupid. I'm sitting there crying. Look at Jeff looking like a baby crying, blah, blah, blah. Bounce. Just go away. And then go sit somewhere and be like, okay, what made me such an asshole in my life that's going to make me feel this way towards another human being? So I'm going to stop cursing because I could really drop more. If you cannot take this show for what it is entertainment. It is a reality television show that is edited. But there are still the human moments that are here where it makes sense for people to see more than just people being cutthroat and horrible to each other. Because that's what the game's about. Joe, God bless you, man. Because I'm sitting there, and that's when I got emotional, was looking at Joe and looking at him, looking at that young lady and being like, because he's a father. Okay, asshats that are out there talking junk. Guess what? I did take a look at your Twitter page. Okay, you ain't got any balls because you're sitting there probably staying home with mom and dad in the basement because you did not take the time to say, okay, this is a normal human reaction. One person went back and they said, my bad, I didn't know that she had autism. There you go. You took care of that. Fine. You have a little bit more respect for him. But anybody else, kiss my ass. But then when Jeff said, he's a dad and he's looking at that, he choked up when he started saying the dad part of it, because nobody really knows this. His kid might have been sitting to the side and he's seeing this reaction, this interaction is happening. So it pisses me off for people to sit there and you feel some kind of way. You're so powerful because you can make your thumbs go like this. Oh, she's annoying. She's that and the other. I've seen many moments on Survivor where people sitting there, they're pretending and faking, and I know that they are. And everybody praises them. Oh, they're so great. They're so strong. Oh, queen, this, that, and the other. Mother, father, blah. No, bullshit. Go. This is what you do. You take a look at this moment of Survivor. You say, okay, this is what makes the most sense to me. This is why I watch the show, not all that other bullshit. And I yield my time.
I love that. I'll add in. Roy says, thank you, Bruce. And before Abraham and Josh go, I'll go to Abraham first here. But before you go, Abraham, I will say this. The great thing about having a mouth is you can shut it. The thing is, even the moments that I think are over the top, right? I admitted that at some points I don't like the sadder moments on the show. You still don't have to go online. If you don't like something, just don't say anything. That's the great thing about it. Abraham, what did this moment mean to you? Very touching moment.
When you're on an island, it's different. I mean, and I used to, don't get me wrong, I sat on the chair and I said a lot of things about a lot of players, not derogatory, but thinking that they could do things better, stronger, faster. And then you get out there on that island and you get humbled by just the environment, the boredom of it sometimes, just then some of the stuff you have to go through just to do a challenge that you never see this aired on TV. And I met Eva in person, man. Great young lady. Would have never even thought she had autism until she said something to me. No, until I read her bio. We stood in and had a whole conversation about living in Atlanta, her going to Georgia Tech. And I was asking about this restaurant called The Varsity. And we had a great conversation. And here's the thing. We are afforded the opportunity to meet the players because we're in the same family. We can text them because we met them. We have their phone number. I'll text Cedric now and do it. And we get to talk to him. I met his family. So we get to know them personally. When you sit behind a keyboard and you don't know someone, be respectful. Just be respectful. And Joe, I texted Joe tonight and was like, hey, man, great episode, because like Bruce said, this is the reality of the world that we live in. If you can't be compassionate to somebody and say, this is just a game, this individual needs me because they confided in me. She told Joe, this is what will help me in this time. And Joe knew what to do. So when you see people out there making these comments, I'm like, you got two choices. Your ass apply to go on the show and see what it feels like for real, or just be compassionate to somebody else and let them understand that, hey, this was a great moment on Survivor, and we celebrated that moment because she had a situation where they won. They won. We don't know. And here's the crazy part about it. You don't know how long that challenge took. You only seen the version that comes out on TV. That could have been an hour where she was there just trying to get through that challenge. And I'm not taking anything from Say, because Say took a long time to finish the challenge as well, but we don't know the timetable. So it's unfair to people judge somebody. And I'm not even saying she's autistic. I'm saying she's a young lady that she's going out there conquering the world. I don't see the autism. And I know autism people. And for most people, you would never know they were autistic. You would have no idea. They'll stand and have a perfect conversation with you, but they're little things that unless you know, you just don't know. One of the Big Brother players, he's autistic. I would have never known. I spoke to him plenty of times until he said something. And that's the thing about it is, don't judge a book by its cover. At least say, hey, I'm gonna talk to him, or I'm gonna understand it. Now I will correct Bruce because he said something I thought was incorrect. He said kick rocks. Bruce, you need to upgrade your saying to kick rocks with open toe shoes.
Well, I didn't know where you were going with that.
I was about to say.
I was like,
what? Upgrade, baby. It's an upgrade now.
Man.
Upgrade.
Abraham scared me. He scared me for a second. I love that, Abe. Josh, before you wrap us up on this topic, I will say another thing that was super powerful that I don't think gets spoken about enough. I know we brought up Joe. I know we brought up Eva's side. I want to go back to Joe a little bit. Just the fact that we saw them talk, and I believe the premiere episode about what she needs from Joe, and we heard this from Joe in a confessional. I don't care if this blows up my game. I'm going to be there for her when she needs me. And to see this 4 episodes later, how many days? Probably about a week later. Probably
10 days.
Yeah, probably about a week and a half later, to see him instantly know exactly what to do. I texted someone tonight, and this is nothing against Eva at all, because Eva is going to be loved herself. This is a touching moment for both of them. I think that Joe might be America's favorite Survivor player at the moment. The way he handles it, you can tell he's just a dude who, if you told him today, if you told her in that challenge, Joe, if you leave that mat and go over there, I have to kick you out of the game.
Bye.
That would never happen. But if that was the case, if they said this is against the rules, you cannot go over there, I promise you Joe would have been on that mat.
Yeah,
I promise you he would have left. Josh, what do you have on how did you take this tonight as you were viewing it?
Yeah, I mean, I love everything that you guys said, like Bruce and Abraham. Totally agree. Totally co-sign. I think that, yeah, I mean, there have been times where Survivor has gone a little over the top with some of the emotional reactions, but this clearly was not one of those times. It was a 100% genuine interaction, between Eva and Joe. So, totally co-sign everything you guys say. I think I'll add to that. All the haters out there are going to be talking about how, Survivor's gotten too political, whatever BS they want to say, but representation has always been so important in the show. You go all the way back to season 1, where the winner was, an openly gay man. And that was the first time people, a lot of people saw a more sympathetic, he wasn't even the most sympathetic, but there was someone like a gay person that people could root for, or, and even beyond sexuality and ethnicity. There's things Tina Wesson winning season 2. People are like, oh, if a 40-year-old mom can go on the show and win, maybe I can too. Or, we see, Mitch this season talked about Christy from Survivor Amazon with her disability, with her being deaf. And he's like, oh man, if she can do this, I can do this too. Even as recently as Carolyn from 44, she said in her pre-show content, Marianne was an inspiration to me, because if Marianne, a kind of more eccentric, weird, kooky personality, can go out there and crush it and be loved by the fans and win the game, maybe I can do that too. And look at Carolyn now, she's a star. So representation from day 1 of Survivor until now has been inspiring castmates who have then gone on to do incredible things. We don't know what people like Eva or Mitch or whoever else, the great conversation that Camilla and Kyle and Shaheen and Joe had today too. We don't know what sort of greatness that could unlock for us in the future, because these guys were all brave enough to go out there and share their story with everyone. In the same way that lots of people in the past have done too, that has inspired them. So, hate all you want, say it's corny all you want, but this has been part of it from the very beginning. And we've gotten some amazing people in Survivor history because of representation. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
This moment was just absolutely incredible. And
look, back to the game. Hold on, because there's a part that I got to say. This is the game of Survivor. Not to cut you off, Randy. This is the game of Survivor. This is the game of Survivor. But I got to give Star her props for tonight, because we hadn't seen much of her on the game. And I think that's going to bring us to a point that Randy was going to get to, but I'm just going to circumvent him a little bit, just a little bit. Star gave her immunity idol to Eva.
Well, we were going to talk about that right after this ad break.
I knew it. I knew it.
Now it doesn't make sense. All right, now I'm just going to randomly play the ad now.
What's up, guys? I'm Todd Herzog, the winner of Survivor China, and I am here with Survivor Now Podcast, the best source for Survivor information, to show off what I do for a living. So I make custom Funko Pops. If you haven't seen or heard, you can check it out on Instagram at Todd's Pop Shop, or you can message me, toddspopshop@gmail.com, to order your own. And if you mention this podcast, you will get $10 off and a free torch. So it's pretty freaking awesome. I'm going to show you a few right now. We've got Troyzan here, Phil from The Amazing Race, JLP, host of Australian Survivor, and look, little Charlie. Anybody you could possibly imagine or want yourself playing an LRG or an ORG, or just with your loved one or family or pets or anything like that, shoot me a message. I'm happy to make it. You also have the chance to win a free custom pop if you sign up for Survivor Now Podcast Fantasy League. So it's pretty awesome. And it's fun. Like, who doesn't want to be a part of that? So yeah, hit me up, get your custom pops. It's great holiday gifts, great birthday gifts. We got a new season of Survivor right around the corner. I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited. Let's get this going.
For him throwing me off my game over here, ready to queue up the ad and everything, and you're just like, hold on, I gotta ruin this for you, Randy. Yeah, definitely check out Todd Herzog's stuff. I'm gonna bring this over there. That just came in the mail for me the other day. Lovely Sierra pop figure from Survivor Tocantins. I think a super underrated player. People don't like to talk about how she played the game with strep throat for the first part of that game, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, definitely. Josh, did I get that right? You're looking at me like I said it. She didn't have strep throat.
She did. I'm not really a big Sierra fan, but you did.
Yeah, I remember that.
The look you were giving me is like, this guy has no idea what he's
saying. No. You're correct. She did start the game with strep throat, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
she's not really my jam, but that's okay.
I'm like striking out here. I need to check myself because I have Sierra and I have
been going for so long.
They're two players who people just don't like. Like, I love Cochran, and before I really got in the Survivor community,
I mean, Sierra was top 3 in the fan favorite voting that season, so she struck a chord with a good amount of.
That's fair, but Cochran is not loved, and I thought Cochran was
Yeah, I mean, again, along with certain, it depends on what pocket of the fan base.
I remember our
I digress. I know. Ollie, you were talking to me and Ollie. Ollie and I are not representative of the whole fan base in that way. But
it's a great time to shout out. If you didn't get a chance to check out our off-season coverage, where myself, Josh, and Ollie ranked every single season of Survivor, you want to hear about Twitter trolls and hating? They hated on us. Go check that out and let us know what you think of our ranking. Also, before we get back to talking about the episode, I want to go ahead and take a second to talk about this. April 16th. Survivor Now is going to be live on stage at Ron Clark's Survivor Party down in Atlanta. This is an incredible opportunity for us, and we just want to thank Ron and his assistant Robin and everyone involved for allowing us to do this. So at 7:15, right before the episode airs, as people are coming in the auditorium, myself, Matthew, Tori, and potentially Kara, she's going to see if she can make it down, but definitely myself, Tori, and Matthew will be on stage interviewing castaways, getting you guys ready for the premiere of what will be episode 8 of Survivor 48. So
let me jump in there, man. I got to jump in there because you're not going to do this for yourself. So I'm going to do it for you. When I met Randy, it was season 41.
I gotta hop off the screen now.
He called me. He's like, "Hey man, can I do an interview with you?" And I was like, "Okay." I didn't know anything about these interviews, so did an interview. He reached back out and he said, "Hey man, would you like to do a podcast with me?" I was like, "Well, I never did podcasting before," and I said, "Hey, let's do it." We was doing it on Zoom. That's how we started on Zoom, and we're on season 48. And Randy has built a podcast community of the Survivor Now podcast, adding Josh, adding Bruce, adding Kara, Tedwith, meeting all these different people, Matthew. And he's built a podcast community with all of us. And Ron Clark, I've always wanted to meet you. I'm from Atlanta. The problem is I'm gonna be in Atlanta the week before, and I'm not staying till the next week. If not, I would have been there too. But The academy is great. It helps the kids that are in Atlanta. But I'm so proud of you, Randy, for what you've built. And you're getting your flowers for people now saying, hey, we want Survivor Now podcast to come to our event. And you did that work. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually really trying not to tear up because we still got half a podcast.
Slow fast, butter, stop.
He's such a dick.
But no, seriously, Abraham, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'll just say, like, I could not be here without the rest of my team. Like, it's just point blank. No one would sit here and listen to me talk by myself. There's no way. So I want to thank the three of you gentlemen, everyone who's been a part of this, and just it's been a wild ride, and this is an incredible opportunity. So yeah, that's definitely the tickets are. See, God damn you, Abraham. The tickets are free. You can check them out. Go to Ron Clark's Instagram and grab those today, and you'll be able to see us on stage for the live show. So okay.
Back to hey, look, I was saying that. What you drinking, man?
Mojito Spindrift.
You said mojitos in a can?
No Hito. So like
no alcohol.
Yeah, no alcohol. It's just a Spindrift.
No. You lost
Mojito flavored Spindrift.
No,
it's really good. It's really good.
He didn't want to start calling people, Teresa.
Not tonight, at least.
Y'all got problems, man. Y'all tripping.
I was wondering what he was talking about. Was it a different show? He was like completely wrapped in like Teresa. What the hell was that?
Let's go ahead and talk about the second part. Abraham queued it up. And after what happened at the challenge, which I will add, I was kind of shitting on the challenge when the challenge began, because I was sitting here and I was like, I don't know, this is something stupid I was doing, and kind of a side note. But I was like, if Jeff asked me right now, tell me one thing you want to fix about the game, would I say the challenges? Because I'm really getting sick of the obstacle course into throw a ball or do a puzzle, or like it's the same thing every time. I'm like, just give us some variety. I actually like the challenges this episode. I'm not going to lie. Both the reward challenge where it was kind of roll the ball into it, I kind of liked. And then the one thing that the challenge makers are doing correctly, I love when they make every single person do the challenge. I love that. And I think that's how it should be. I was sitting there and I'm like, should we just get rid of the first part of the challenge? Because they always get to the puzzle at pretty much the exact same time.
No. You see that boat dragging them too? You go back and pause the screen and see where two of them
is, but drugged. If you pause it when the puzzle is going on, they're all pretty much there at the same time.
Well, yeah, that's just you doing what you're supposed to be doing. But when they jumped in the water, they started swimming. They was dragging two people on both of them teams. Like, hey, and for all y'all that don't know how to swim, y'all better work on that too. But that boat was dragging them, man. That's pure entertainment to me. Because I know how deep that water is and what it takes to swim in with a boat. Hey, but that boat was dragging two people.
You just want to torture people.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I agree with the fact that having the multiple stages, it does show that, like someone like Cedric bounced that ball. That shit came back to him. It wasn't even going in the right direction.
That was rough.
It was rough. But it's like, again, it's a reality television show. You need entertainment. That is entertaining because
I will say, I thought it was funny when Eva was trying to go under. She's like, my thigh's too big. I feel that.
Putting in too much work on leg day, clearly. Like she's
Randy, you just said I feel that. Randy, you don't feel that. You got some skinny
I feel that. My thighs be too big, Bruce. You don't see the lower half of the stream.
I've seen you dancing on
out here with the caboose.
Hey man, when they can't get through something or they can't get under something, man, I'm dying laughing because I know.
I just saw Josh roll his eyes. He said that has to be that. Me saying I got a caboose down here had to be like the bottom moment for him in terms of podcasting. I could see him afterwards talking to his wife. You'll never guess what Randy just said.
Well, Randy, I love you to death, bro. But there's something called the bleg. You know what the bleg is? When your back and your leg are the same straight line.
The funny thing is, we've had this joke at my work. People say all the time, Randy, you don't have anything. You just got back action.
So yeah, look.
Back on the Survivor side of things, after the challenge, I'm going to have people in Atlanta now walk up to me and say, hey, back action. Come on. So we had a moment where Star was really connecting with Eva on the sense of she's like, I have people back home who are on the spectrum, and this is a very powerful moment for me. And they're kind of all talking about it. Eva saying, how great it is that it's out there now. And she found the right time to tell everyone. And then Star goes, you know what? You need to play this game honestly. And I'm going to tell everyone I have the Beware advantage. And that was the one moment that was the moment that took me out of the emotion. I was like, this is so sweet. And then she said that, and I was like, is that how you should be playing the game? Honesty is the number one way to play the game. I didn't think it was a good move. Did I like what she did? Loved it. Did I think it was good Survivor move? No. But she ends up telling everyone that she has the Beware advantage. And then she did make the right decision at the end of the day when Eva was the one who figured it out, and she's sitting there and holding it. And I was like, is Star going to give her the idol? I mean, she was the one who found it. She figured it out, and Star did that. So I present you guys with this, not to put you in a tough situation, but would you do the same thing, or would you take the idol back? Not to put you, I'll answer first. If you don't want to answer, that's fine.
Hey, look, I'll say, here's the thing.
I think I'd take it back. I think I would have took it back. I'm sorry.
I'm only going to reference this, and I'm going to go answer your question. But the milkman drinking milk, and I'm going to let that go.
We're getting to that. I'm saving that for the end of the show.
We'll talk about my boy.
But here's the thing. Who don't know about Star's advantage by now? Who don't know about it? I mean, damn, every tribe.
This is the first time.
49 knows about it.
Yeah, probably people who were never on the same tribe as her, but I don't know. Maybe even word got around.
This is the first time in Survivor history where two tribes knows about one thing, and he still ain't got it. So either way it go, if she took it, it's just it's something that she got to get rid of. But if you just gave it away, you get more currency from giving it away. And then you gave it in a time that worked with you. And you say, okay, yeah. And she's being honest with her conversation. Hey, I understand what you're doing. And we've never seen this on Survivor where somebody says, hey, if you open it, you can have it. Because everybody knew about it. So no reason to keep it now. You might as well just get rid of that thing as quick as possible. Because what's the next thing that everybody wants to do? Flush it.
Yeah.
We got to flush it. So let her deal with that. To me, that was good gamesman play because everybody knew anyway. Even when they said it, they did a cut to Eva and said, well, we knew that 3 days ago. We're just waiting. So they were just waiting for you to tell them. Good play to me.
I have to show this comment. Sorry to cut you off. People on the race know about Star's idol.
I don't hate the move. I don't hate the move from Star. I think when the question, what would I do? I think what I would have done would have been just like, okay, I'm going to keep this for myself, but then I'm going to play it right at the merge just so, you can trust. Maybe not advertise that, but just know, like, no matter what, I'm playing this unless the first time I'm vulnerable, just so I can see if the people who I think I can trust, I can actually trust, because Star hasn't been to tribal council yet. And if she has good reads, which I think she is probably pretty aware that she was on the bottom on her first tribe and maybe isn't doing too hot on this tribe. But either way, you don't know. She's been in the game for 11 days. She doesn't know where she stands because hasn't had to vote. She hasn't been to tribal council at all. So if I'm her, I hold on to it for myself, play it the first time. However, I don't hate the move of giving it to Eva because, one, it helps like curry favor with Eva when purple, you lost Thomas, you might lose Bianca tonight for all you know. So maybe you need to stick together, maybe you need to build that bridge, maybe that could help build trust with Charity and David and Mary too. But also it, like, people are have their eyes on Star because she's searching for idols all the time, she has an idol, and now people know, like, that's actually on Eva had this big inspirational moment at the challenge, and she has an idol now. So, like, let's watch out for her. So I do think it shifts the focus away from her in a way that will ultimately benefit her, or it very well could ultimately benefit her. Who knows if it will, but I don't hate the move. I think she's in a better position now than she was at the beginning of this episode because of all that.
I mean, you're right. You're exactly right. Because we saw as soon as they went to the same tribe together, that kind of situation of, like, Star of all people is who came with me. And I don't have a good relationship with Star. That's what she said in the last episode. And it seems like that bridge has been mended today with what we saw. Bruce, so, okay, I got to get Abraham's answer to the question. Would you give her the idol at that point if she was the one who figured it out?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like like Josh makes a good point too. How would you play this moment? Hold on, don't forget that message Jeff in the midst of all that crying. He did say, "Hey, Joe might have to vote you out later." So don't think he ain't thinking about the game. He's like, he might vote you out later. Here's the thing. I agree with Josh too, but I also agree that you never know how something's going to work out until it works out in Survivor. I think for Star not being edited and we not really seeing her play or really interact with anybody, we assume that she's on the outs. But at the same time, by giving it to Eva, she basically says, okay, now that goes to you. Now, when the merger comes, we'll see if Eva is going to be as loyal to Star as she is to Joe.
Yeah, she doesn't have many friends left. That purple tribe is getting knocked off one by one.
And Eva is a dime dropper. She dropped a lot of dimes last episode. Like she was giving out nickels and dimes everywhere. So I think the balance is going to work out in Star's favor to at least get her a couple of more days on the island. So, but that's something, again, that's the great thing about the show. We saw the move. Now we need to see how the move is going to play out. We all thought Cedric was going to get voted out in the next episode. He's still here playing.
Bruce, in that moment, are you giving it to her, or are you doing what? See, like what I would do is I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I got you, girl. I got your back now. Now give me my idol back." Like, what are you doing in that sense?
I would have taken back the idol and been like, "But this is a community idol for everyone, and then all that are in danger. Come talk to me because I might just give it all." Let me tell you something. I wouldn't give it that. No, you're not currying favor with anybody because the simple fact of the matter is that she doesn't know that, more than likely doesn't know that Eva was like, she's annoying. I need to get her out. She targeted me, and vice versa for either one of them. And mending a fence. How you mend? It's one of those invisible fences that you put around your dog's collar, like around the neck, and then you just don't know you get there until you get shocked. Like the scenario would have been. Thank you very much for opening that. I appreciate it. And let's make this a community idol of, let's have a pack together, all of us, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it comes down to, Star, I'm in trouble. Can you play the idol for me? Sure.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm going to play this for myself. Like, what? Like, what do you know? Like, who the hell cares? Because if you're sitting there having a conversation and you're thinking that you're in trouble and you're going to use the idol that somebody else has, other people are going to look at that and be like, nah, like that's just dumb. Like, we just want you out anyway. And they vote her out. And it's like, okay, sorry, I couldn't play it for her, but I knew that I was in trouble too. Okay. And I say that in jest, of course, because I didn't play my idol and I got voted out with one in my pocket.
I wasn't going to bring it up. You brought it up.
I'll bring it up all the time because I know that I know the tomfoolery that I have amongst my shoulders.
Yeah, do you have it?
But the fact is that I wish they would have showed the people that were sitting down in the shelter and looked at their faces because they just would have been like,
"Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be good."
Yeah. If we could have gotten one confessional from like Mary or David or someone and been like gotten their take on Star giving Eva her idol, that would have been insightful.
I don't think Mary. I think Mary would have been all about it. I think that Mary just is so happy now until she said she couldn't be happy doing that reward challenge. But she's so happy and enjoying herself.
I feel like watching Mary play is like how I would be playing. She just seems like a super happy-go-lucky person.
She's so fun.
Go back and look at the video where she was trying to dap everybody up, and then there's a play on her tribe that didn't dap her up. I'll be voting them out for that nonsense because she was dapping everybody. And
you also asked Bruce whether he still had his title or not.
Did they let you keep it, or they took it when you went around the path?
No, they took it.
I would want that little cylinder. They would never get that back.
That is cool. I would put everything in that.
I was saying on the pre-show,
I put chapstick in there if I needed to. Like that's I love that thing. That's cool.
The cylinder is dope. But I was saying how the idols. Why would you want to keep an idol anyways? I could make you one right here. I have some string. I could put some beads on it. There's your idol.
It's not the same though. You didn't take it up and under the
Gosh, thank you very much. If you ever say you want to make something that
I'm just saying, Bruce. I'm just saying. I brought up South Pacific as an example. I don't need the large square idols that James had that was just way too big.
Yeah,
but
two that
like
he had.
South Pacific, they used to do them like small little idols specific to the season. Like in South Pacific, they had like the skulls on them or whatever, and that was cool.
Brandon,
I said, no, hold on. Let me get this out because I need this rant. I understand Survivor does great stuff, and I understand I don't completely understand the behind the scenes of it all. But come on, art department, you can't do better than a string and a few little beads.
Listen, the art department wants to get their kids involved, so their kids are making idols.
And I think they also do that on purpose so that it's easier to make fakes that are believable. I think they want more fake idols out there, so they want to make it like more.
But the thing that baffles me is, you brought up earlier how you can go all the way back to season 1 for this particular thing and, bring up these like emotional moments. You could go all the way back to season, I don't know, 12, 13, and people were making fake idols. Someone used a stick and it was believable. Like you can make fake idols that are still.
By Josh? Not you, Josh.
Jason is not exactly the brightest light in the harbor.
But I'm saying, like,
crazy.
Look at Survivor Token Chains. People were still making fake idols, but we still had idols that looked like idols. Like, to me, these little strings and beads look like you said, Bruce, like, your niece made that at the crafts table over there. Like,
hold on, Randy. Here's the thing. That feeling when you're on that island, you playing that, you want that memory. Now, I'm not gonna call the player out. They did win their season of Survivor, but doing the family visit, they was jacking everything.
Who are you talking about?
I'm not gonna dime him out like that. But Bruce is gonna meet him this year. But his wife was taking stuff. If I could have took the mat off the wall at Ponderosa, looking back on it, I'd have packed that in my suitcase. Because you may never get back again.
Josh, also, do you know who he's talking about?
No, I'm racking my brain right now.
No, you don't know. You can never get this one. Here's the thing, but it's just that memory that you'd add. Take Danny. Danny won, and it was his dad's. I think it was his dad's birthday, and he won his, and it's like that memory all goes together.
But that's a memory. I'm going to go on the show. I'm going to find an idol, and I'm going to out myself with the idol, and I'm going to be the one castaway who looks at Jeff in the eye on camera and says, "Hey, can we get a better art department here who actually cares?"
Dude,
I think it's a deliberate choice on their part. Yeah, I think Jeff has gone on record saying, or someone has gone on record saying that it's a deliberate choice.
I'm gonna back you up with that, Josh, because there is, going back the last couple of seasons, people had made, idols and stuff like that, and they're taking from the talents of the players that are there, because the player is saying, okay, this is what I think an idol is going to look like. Well, now the art department's like, well, if they're saying that, why don't we just create something that looks right along the same lines of that? Like, I know that mine had, this one yellow piece in the middle and then beads on the side. I've never seen that before. Like, and I'm dangling it. I'm like, this is it. Like, because I remember looking at him and seeing, Randy, where the hell did you go? But seeing what it was going to look like and how like the intricacies of it back in the day. And you're not making that by sitting on the beach.
This is a better idol than what they make. My mom made this. And look, it's the same thing, but it has some character to it.
First of all, we love moms, so we ain't gonna send them back by moms.
There you go, Mom Dukes.
But I guarantee
the same exact beads, but look, there's some character to it. That's all I'm asking.
But you can't hide that either. I mean, you're gonna poke yourself.
How's it harder to hide that than just what they have now? It's the same thing.
I didn't want to do this, Randy. I didn't want to do this, but I got to hit you with this one. Man, you ain't been on the show, so stop. Shit.
I don't think I'm ever going to get on the show. The amount of times I've came on the podcast and said, if I was on the show, I'd tell Jeff this. And if I was on the show, I'd tell Jeff this. Jeff has probably seen it somewhere and blacklisted me.
Go back and listen to the episode. You ever hear Jeff with the little smart ass comments he be making?
I love it.
When it's real time, you really want to run over and choke the shit out of him, tell you the truth.
I'm all bark, no bite, because I always say they need a castaway to go on the show and let Jeff have it and say, this needs to go back, this needs to change. And I keep saying that I'm going to be that person. But we all know if I go out there, the moment I have the opportunity to tell Jeff off, I'm going to be like, yeah, Survivor. Let's go. Yeah.
The premiere party I was at in Milwaukee, they have auctioned off a bunch of things, and one of the things I auctioned off was a 30-minute Zoom call with Jeff, and I was like more nervous for that, like, because I did put in a raffle for that, and I was like, oh man, I was more nervous for that than I was like anything else, because I'm like, oh, what would I say? Because I do have so many things, but also, you attract more. What is this phrase? What's the phrase? Like, you attract more flies with the honey than you do with vinegar. Is that what they say? So, but I did think about that a lot. I didn't win, so it didn't matter. But
I was gonna say that's probably a hard stop on. Jeff probably does that 30 minutes, and then right at 30, he's like, "Oh, time's up. Nice."
know.
I'm gonna defend. Usually I call him Messy Jeff because he does messy shit for the show. But I did my Zoom call with him, and I mean, he's a great guy. He's a very personable guy that really, really wants to talk to you.
He does care about the show. He just doesn't know what the fans want.
And we were doing. I don't know where Bruce, man, because my iPad messed up and I couldn't get on FaceTime. So my phone and my iPad rings, but it rings like let's say a second apart. And I was like, I can't miss this call. So I grabbed my phone, which wasn't set up, and I'm looking, and Jeff looks over my shoulder and sees something on my wall. And he was like, "Hey man, what is that on your wall?" I was like, "Come on, Jeff, you married. You know your wife give you stuff. You got to put that stuff up and display it." And that's how our conversation started. So he's a very personable person, and from the time that I dealt with him. So I think if he was on a 30-minute Zoom call, you'd have a blast.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be great. Yeah.
But he's a person. I call him Messy because he do.
Well, next time you talk to Jeff, tell him that I was very disappointed in the Survivor 50 voting last week and how we didn't have an option for endurance challenges at Final Four. Because the options they gave us were sad, sir, sad. All right, to wrap up no, we all love Jeff. He's passionate about the show. He is passionate, so you can't say anything bad about that.
You got to talk about them donuts. You can let them donuts go.
What?
Stop. Hey, here's a shout out to. First of all, let me give a shout out to production because I think they did a great job again this season with a lot of the stuff that's being presented in the show. But stop damn serving them donuts. Let me tell you something.
The funny thing is, I had donuts this morning. I laughed my butt off because there was a donut truck parked outside, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny." So that's the segue to our last kind of thing that I wanted to talk about. We kind of got on a tangent there.
Abraham, stop skipping ahead.
Every single time, Abraham, if you think that we need to talk about something, know that I'm probably going there next.
We had great timing. I mean, back when it was just me and you, guy. I mean, it was me and you. We had great timing.
So next up, the last thing we have to talk about, they went back to the sanctuary. I don't hate the sanctuary as much as I used to. A fun little moment here for the new, it's the Purple Tribe, right? Loggy, the new Loggy tribe, David and the girls, as I like to call them. And they got to have some donuts, some pastries. They got to have ham and cheese croissants. I would have lost my mind. That's one of my favorite things. I love ham and cheese croissants. I get them at nice restaurants when they have them available. Abraham, when we went to New York, back when I was dating Taylor and we went to lunch, that's exactly what I got was a ham and cheese croissant.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you looked like you were going to add on to that.
No, what can I say? I'll be like, okay.
I don't know. I thought you were like, oh yeah, you did. I don't know. I thought you'd care more than you did. So,
my bad, man.
We had some lovely moments on tonight's episode. We had, everyone, hugging Bianca as she's going out the door. We had Eva and Joe's personal.
Who hugged Bianca?
And Bianca was crying. She ain't thinking
No, Mitch stood up and he was like patting her on the back.
Her right away, and
that's because he didn't vote for her.
And then Mitch did not vote for her.
That's why he gave her a hug. My bad, girl.
And then Joe and Eva had their touching moment, and Jeff getting emotional about being a father. But the one that really stuck out to me was this emotional scene we got with the milkman. And I mean, someone posted online, this is the closest we're ever going to get to a family visit again because David got his milk. Oh, also, that's not even that's weird to say. You guys can give me the weird look, but Jeff literally said tonight during the reward challenge, once your balls drop, just like in life, you move on to the next stage.
What the?
You did not hear him say that. I clocked it immediately.
Yeah, Twitter and Blue Sky, they had fun with that one.
What? Okay.
That's exactly what he said. I'm not going to repeat.
No, he did.
I need more people talking stupid stuff like that. Like that's fun to me as opposed to talking shit about anything else. Like I just want people to like find the funny thing, like find the inappropriate thing, find the thing that takes every.
It would have been funnier.
40-year-old man down to being a 12-year-old boy and be like, he said balls. Like I'd rather see that.
Jeff that tripped and fall. That's what I need to find out. How long he was on that ground.
It would have been funnier. It would have been more funny if he lowered his voice to go along with the joke because he knew what he was doing. But let's talk about David. And this is such a weird thing to end the episode on. My bad, guys. I went out of order here. But let's talk about David and this milk here. Wait, Bruce, your draft pick. We finally got it. We got the moment.
Yeah. Listen, I think I picked my team's all right. We're good right now. Christy got a little messy, a little bit, but David was like, listen, it's kind of like one of those things like Achilles. He was amazing, strong, break his Achilles, and then he's weak, and he's just a normal human being. You got David with his milk. Give him his milk. Keep him fueled. Keep him fueled. I'd love this if they could have gave him powdered milk. We could have put it in his thermos. Sugar it up. Go.
He made me feel like crap tonight though, because he goes, "Oh yeah, it's whole milk, none of that 2% crap." And that's what I drink, because I'm a 2% drinker. So it made me feel bad about myself.
You got to go straight whole milk. You know what?
Is it that better? Does it taste better?
Yes, and it's like, all right. So here's a little TMI. People that I know, when they drink the 1%, 2%,
I don't want to know about your milk.
Gray water, whatever the gray water is, the skim milk. They got like stomach issues and all that other good stuff. When you hit that whole milk, it coats everything, and they're fine.
Really?
Yes.
What in the hell?
Yes. Josh, do you do the whole milk trend?
I don't really drink milk plain. But if I buy milk to like put in like cereal or like, overnight oats or whatever, I do 2%.
Big chocolate milk guy, but I'm getting to the age where I think milk is starting to leave my appetite a little bit. What is this stream now? I'm sorry.
I see Bruce is ahead of me on the chart.
I will say, Bruce, this was a huge episode for the draft. A huge episode for David. A huge episode for Eva. Like, looking good for your draft team. You still got all of them intact.
Josh, I know you got mad last week about what happened with Kyle.
Yeah, that was such a. I mean, I think they just put so much weight on challenge performance when Kyle crushed it last episode. Correctly played an idol. I guess he didn't win any challenges, but he correctly played an idol. Got someone out and was a huge central focus and only got 16 points. Come on.
Do you think you'll pass Kara this episode? I'm looking at it right now. You're 30 points back. Now she's probably going to get negative points. So
Bianca, probably negative points for Bianca. I don't know if I'm going to catch up.
The crazy thing that still keeps you in last.
Yeah, I think I might still be in last, but I'm trending up for sure. I still feel really good about Kyle and Mitch both going into.
He's still trending up. I like that positive attitude.
How many? Wait, last question about the draft.
For the
Gipper. Where's Abraham at? Abraham's in second right now behind Bruce. Do we think Sierra
behind who?
Bruce, you might want to stop that. Bruce, hey,
my
record is strong.
You're one as of now. I don't know if you're going to stay number one.
Dude, my record is strong. Two years in a row, minus that one. Actually, 3 victories, minus Ali stepping in the middle. And other than that, man, look.
Abraham, I don't think your bracket's that strong because I really don't see Cedric, Star, or Say going that deep in the game.
Let me see where Randy's at. Oh, Randy's not on here.
I'm the host. I'm just
stay your ass out of this, man. Until you get in and stay your ass out.
All right, we have some great stuff planned for you guys coming up. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time, join Will, and Josh is actually unable to make it. I can't say why, but he's got some exciting opportunities ahead. But there will be another Josh there from season 44. Josh Wilder will be on the podcast tomorrow with Will, and then we'll figure out who's going to be with Will. We'll find a replacement there. Maybe Tori or Avery can hop on. We'll figure it out, but they will be there tomorrow, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time for Survivor Stockwatch as they take a look at every single castaway and see where their game is at. That's something we didn't really do on the after show. They take a look at every single castaway as we get closer to the merge. And then, pull this one up first. Tomorrow night, it's a doubleheader on Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Join Matthew, Ollie, and Valeria for the Survivor Australia Brains versus Brawn 2 recap show. I have fell way behind. I apologize. I'm 3 weeks behind on Survivor Australia. I have fell way behind. But I will say this. There's a lot of hate that's going around with Survivor Australia right now. There's a lot of racism that's going around with Survivor Australia right now. We posted our statement. Just cut it out, guys. point blank, we do not accept any racism in this community. So if you're one of those people, this community is not for you. So we continue to stand by the entire cast of Survivor Australia. And yeah, it's been a good season so far. And then on Saturday, got something for you at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. They also have a guest, TK Foster from Survivor 47, will be joining Matthew, Ollie, and Phil. What'd you say, Abraham?
I haven't met TK in person yet.
Yeah, TK is going to be joining the guys on Saturday, so definitely tune in for that. And then to end our triple header of guests, Survivor Social on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time with Tegwith and Kara. They have Christine Riccio returning. She is a published author, wrote an incredible book. If you guys have not checked it out, definitely check it out on her Instagram. I'm trying to get the name. I should have had the name of the book pulled up, but it is a good book. I know Tegwith and Kara they were talking to me about it and said it is really good. They showed the book last year, but Christine came on last year. There it is. Sorry. Attached at the Hip is the name of the book. So everybody go check that out. She will be joining the ladies on Sunday for Survivor Social. But other than that, gentlemen, it has been fantastic to be back. I've missed most of you, and then Abraham. No, I've missed all you guys. I am so sorry I've been missing these past couple weeks. Another incredible show. If you guys enjoyed this chaos as we broke the episode down, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever we go live. Check out all of our content, survivornowpodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at Teresa Stans123. And it's at Survivor. I ruined the joke. I did it too much. It's at Survivor Now Pod on X, at Survivor Now Podcast on Blue Sky and Instagram. And we'll catch you guys next week for the next episode of Survivor 48. Thanks for joining, guys.